Hey everyone, this is Cyazon, and this is Cyber Future episode 0. I decided to start this series because I want to bring on artists and music industry professionals I've come across over the years since I've been involved in the electronic music scene since around 2011, 2012. So I'm going to continue bringing on people I've come across and share their knowledge within the industry, what they've learned and experiences and all of that. Also, as the title suggests, Cyber Future, we're going to also hypothesize about the future, what that's going to entail within music, life, and all of that technology and everything. And maybe at some point we'll bring across spiritual beliefs, meditation, and philosophical beliefs too. And eventually I'm going to take off these glasses just to be more personable. I'm still in the process of figuring that out. But yeah, let's get into it. So I discussed the purpose of this podcast, which is to bring on, artists and music artists within the music industry and electronic music, but it could be in any genre really. And people I know within the music business who have experience and are knowledgeable within that, as well as at some point bringing on, like I said, people in tech, alternative medicine, health, and philosophy and spirituality, all of that, and religion at some point later on. Not right away. So I kind of just want to, the purpose, like I said, is to, share knowledge with people, inspire others, who are listening. And that's really the main purpose, and to kind of share perspectives across life and within music too, and to kind of just reconnect with everyone I've come across within the music industry. So my artist career history and background. So I started the Cyazon project in 2019 when I officially started to release music. And then I solidified my usernames on social media around 2015. And between 2015 and 2019, I have learned a lot across music production, the music business, from artists I've looked up to and music business industry professionals before I started releasing music officially under my Cyazon artist alias. I released music in 2019, put out my first song, and it took about 5 or 6 releases throughout 2019 to 2020 to have my first label record release with Monster Cat. And that did surprisingly very well through intensive marketing within, Facebook, Instagram ads at the time, Spotify playlisting, and all of that. And I think that was a key aspect to the song's success across all streaming platforms, and just everyone really resonating with the song and loving it, because it was also a really relatable message within the song, lyrically and sonically, with escapism and that longing feeling. And we had very high quality animation too, I think. Yeah, and then one of my acquaintances connected me with the head A&R in Monster Cat, and that kind of is how it came about. And then fast forward to October 2020, I also released on Night Mode it's an Insomniac, a sub-label that launched right around that time. And they were releasing their cyberpunk compilation album that also did very well too, I think. It's at 500,000 streams. And then right after that, I would say right around that time, between October and November to, I want to say March or April, not even then, before January, February, I had to take some time off medically in my personal life because I was not doing very well. I recovered from that. I released 2 songs or so in 2021 and came back. Released solo, self-released within 2022. I did 2 songs with Fix, the label. So that was something too. And I think I did a one-off release with Bass Rebels too on a synthwave track. And then, a lot of people, it's not really known so much now, but a lot of people thought I was going to quit just because of, the struggles I was dealing with, but I was not in the right place mentally to make an educated decision on that. Considering it was all medical and all that, kind of put things on hold for a little bit. In 2023, I released a few more songs, and I think one of my next releases that came up was my song with AU5 and Tyler Graves on Ophelia. I wrote this right around the time before I got hospitalized. So it was really like surreal, like moment and track, considering I was in a different space mentally and thinking about all sorts of philosophical concepts and things, and spiritually and religiously, the things I've learned during that time. So it was kind of like a interesting yet weird experience creating that song, but it ended up being it performed really well, just and live from what 85 from when he played the song, and just, online it did well too. So I'm really happy and satisfied that people resonated with the song, and they still do. So I'm glad that came about. And then early 2024, January 2024, I did an EP. I released an EP with Circus Electric that did somewhat okay. I got the songs out, and that's all I really will say about that. Yeah, I've released a lot of one-off self-releases on my own during that year in 2024 too, and a little bit even before in 2023. I would say from June 2023 onwards, I was releasing one song every month or one song every 2 months, or remix bootleg or something like that. November of 2024, I started to push my EP, and the first single from that came out. Full EP got released in March. And then in January, put out a song with Bass Rush, a drum and bass track. I started working with my previous team around... They emailed me in early 2021, and then I had to take a break because of being hospitalized, and then I came back and worked with them again. 2022, once things got caught up again, gave them a solid 3 years, and I have my opinions on that. It wasn't the right fit, Now, I did see some growth, but like long-term wise and longevity wise, it wasn't the right fit for me. So that's why I recently actually ended up leaving them. Before 2015, I discovered electronic music, as mostly everyone does at shows. So back where I'm from, I was very much involved in the underground electronic scene. Late 2011 to 2012, I got to know promoters just through like reaching out, just getting to know them personally, not expecting anything. And, just kind of understanding like how the artists do it. And that is when like EDM was first coming up, really, in my opinion. The 2012 to 2015 era was like the golden years for electronic music, in my opinion. I got to like go behind the scenes a little bit, see how things operate. And then even more so from 2016 and 2018, I got to experience that a lot more. The business aspect, how things are run, at shows and stuff, and, some words of advice and encouragement from like artists that I looked up to and still do, that inspire me and all of that. That is my experience and background and career history. I want to wrap this podcast up, episode 0, just covering the purpose of the podcast series, cyber future going forward, some background behind my artist career, and my experience within the EDM scene before I was even an artist. I hope you're looking forward to what is to come.